Hello, everyone. A very good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in place and time. This is Asna Fareen joining you from Bangladesh after such a long time. I was missing you guys. And today, the presenter Miraj Mir couldn't join us, and Madhurima Mazumdar, one of our previous hosts, has generously accepted the invitation to talk about a fabulous topics which has been shared by all of you. She's going to talk about seeking work-life balance as an educator. So, Madhurima, a very warm welcome to you. To introduce you, I would say she wears many hats. Madhurima is an emotional empowerment coach. She's a spiritual healer, meditation coach, curator of holistic events. She's also the founder of Sunshine in You initiatives. We are proud of you, Madhurima. She is also the founder of Lean In Circle and the founder of Let's Talk initiative. A very warm welcome to you, Madhurima.
Thank
Please
you,
introduce
Asnaha.
yourself, and the floor is all yours.
All right. Thank you, Asnaha. It's always a pleasure to be speaking to the members of your community and to all the teachers and everyone who's a part of your entire organization and the entire team that you have on social media who follows you and subscribers. And it's always a pleasure to talk to teachers and the teaching community because they are the backbone of our society, because they are the ones who are leading the way for the future generation. So I think you've already introduced me quite well, and there's not much more to say about me. But all I can say is it's a really good opportunity for me to come back and talk on this platform once again with you. So it's always a pleasure, Asnaha.
Pleasure is all ours, Madhurima, that you accepted the invitation, and in such short span of time, you're here with us, sharing your, thought-provoking ideas. So let's get started. So the topic for today is learn effective ways to achieve work-life balance as a teacher. So before digging deeper into the topic, I would ask that how will you define a perfect, work-life balance? What is your definition of perfect work-life balance?
Okay, so this entire term of work life balance has always been there. And since lockdown came to our lives, it has taken a toll and a backseat because we are working from home. Most of us are working from home. And especially when I'm addressing it to the teacher community, it has been the toughest for them because as parents, we might think our children are having a tough time. But I would say the teachers are having the toughest time because it's not easy that you entire 25, 40 children from a classroom setup, you just come to a laptop screen. It's very, very difficult. And then you have your home chores and you have your own family to take care of. I mean, it's always a juggle for any professional, but when you are doing the work from your own home, it becomes more and more difficult. But coming to the terminology of what I understand about work life balance for me, Asnaha, is nothing but having a wealthy a very healthy balance or a healthy boundary between your work and your personal life, because all of us have many roles to play, all of us have a lot of responsibility. And if we do not have that boundary, that okay, this is where I need to draw the line and I need to put a demarcation between my professional life and my personal life, it will lead to a lot of stress, it will lead to a lot of burnout, it will lead to a lot of exhaustion. And it will not only affect you physical way, it will also affect you mentally and emotionally. And it can really, really strain your relationships personally and professionally, because it's just not about the kind of work that you're doing or the kind of non-work hours that you have. It's also about the stress that you are manifesting, and that can lead to a lot of lifestyle issues, it can lead to a lot of health issues. So maintaining that work life is balance is very important. It's about meeting your commitments at work, but at the same time having time for yourself, having time for your family, and obviously to also take care of your physical, mental, and emotional needs. So yes, if I can define work life balance, I mean, that is the way I would look at it.
Such an amazing way of defining work life balance. Indeed, we need to seek this balance. We as IB teachers, we have learner profiles, and from the very young age, we want our students to be balanced. So, for us as a teacher, we need to role model it. right? So this is very important that we are emotionally balanced, mentally balanced, and also physically balanced in all sphere of our lives. I was just reading a LinkedIn post. So it was saying, the person was checking that are we maintaining the body hygiene, are we maintaining the dental hygiene, or are we maintaining the mental hygiene? So it was such a beautiful way to describe the overall thing, that there are things which we do not consider to be considered. We actually overlook those issues. So like, I know one size does not fit all, and we all have different ways to balance our life, and obstacles are also different. But as emotional empowerment coach, what are the basic obstacles, possible obstacles that you see, that you think is there in achieving a perfect work life balance? What are some things which act as obstacles when we try to balance our work life?
So I would talk again from a teacher's perspective, because since we are talking to the teaching community, is I think the primary thing that happens is a lack of time management. When we are not organized in terms of what we have to do, the entire daily task, and then how you prioritize your work, how you prioritize your personal life, your professional life, the commitments that you have at both worlds. It's very, very important to be organized internally, and then have a proper time management, have a proper schedule for yourself. It definitely helps. But if that is not there, that can lead to a lot of problems. Another thing which can lead to a lot of imbalance is when you have a lot of guilt. And guilt can arise from any kind of issues that you may have, primarily mentally or emotionally. Is most of the professionals might get into a guilt, or might get into some kind of a fear that I'm not doing enough, or I should do more, I should prove myself more, or if I don't do this, then I will not be seen, I will not be appreciated, or I will not be acknowledged at my workspace. And that's where it leads to a lot of burnout, because you're extending yourself much more than what is needed. You are stretching yourself beyond your limits. So definitely that will lead to a lot of burnout. And that's where you need to be more aware that where am I operating from, or what am I operating from? Am I operating from confidence of my own professional potential that I have? Because if you are good, you do not need to prove yourself. Your work will talk for yourself, irrespective of your at at a pre-primary level, or you're at a higher secondary level, or at a college level. It really doesn't matter what's your experience, or what's your designation, or what's your responsibility. If you are good, if you are a good teacher, if you are a good educator, your work will talk for yourself. Obviously there are many, many things that you have to do beyond your day to day work with children. But yes, having said that, you have to understand that what am I operating from? Am I operating from a fear of losing my job, or not doing enough, or not being seen enough, or am I operating from guilt that my colleagues are doing better, oh, that person will get a promotion, I might not do well, I'll be stuck in this place, I might not get more opportunities? Or are you operating from some kind of a stress factor that if I lose this job? So this fear is something which most of professionals have, and it's not only about teachers, it can be anybody. So it's very important to do this introspection inside us, Naha, to understand what am I operating from, what kind of an awareness do I have, and what is it that is driving me? Is it the love for my job that is driving me? Do I actually love being a teacher? Is this the kind of profession that I would have loved? This is this my dream job? Okay, or you have just chosen the education field or the teaching profession as, yeah, okay, I just want, okay, kuch nahi tha, so I became a teacher. Or is it a passion? Or do is educating children or educating the future generation a part of your passion? So that's where you need to do that inner homework, and ask yourself that what is my motivation to do this job? What is my force behind me waking up every morning and doing my work with the children that I'm working with? So that's very important to understand that what's your calling. And if you find that calling, and if you know what's your passion, you will understand the guilt, the time management, the organizational issues, and everything will fall into place, because these are the kind of things we need to ask ourselves before we move on to the bigger stories and the bigger hurdles of life.
Very well said, Madhurima. It's very important to be reflective in all our approaches. As you said, we need to introspect, like, what is driving us? What is the driving force behind all our actions? So, whatever is happening is actually a product of what is happening inside, right? If we are finding it difficult to be balanced, so it means this is something which we are not enjoying. As you said, there are teachers by choice or teachers by a push. So we really need to understand that is it something we chose, and then we need to own our choices, whatever, because choices can lead to something wrong as well. So understanding that is very, very important. Here I would just like to quote a beautiful quote by Kingsford, Jana Kingsford, that balance is not something you find, it's something you create. So, like Madhurima very well said, that to create such a balance, we need to do an inner homework. We need to understand what's happening in the upper departments, like in the head and heart, and we need to steer, head, heart, and soul. Then only we can achieve such balance. If something is looking like an obstacle, why don't we see it from some other angle? So that's very important. So we discussed about some of the possible obstacles. So being an emotional empowerment coach, you are the right person to ask this question, like, what are the some ways to achieve work life balance? Can you share some of the tips in general, as human beings, what we should be doing before going
Yeah.
towards, as an educator, what should we be doing as human
So,
being, what we should be doing, to
yeah.
achieve work life balance?
So before I even get into the discussion, Asnaha, on what we can do to achieve that work-life balance, I would actually take this opportunity to share certain pointers of what can actually happen to you if you have a poor work-life balance. So there are many aspects. I'm sure the ones who are watching this live today will relate to it if they are one of them who's struggling with the balancing of their work life and their personal life. First and foremost is you'll have a lot of physical exhaustion, which is very, very obvious because you'll feel tired, you'll feel exhausted, you'll feel burned out. You'll also have a lot of anxiety because you're always struggling to meet all the expectations. You'll either be in the past that, okay, I did this, so now what will be the actions around it? Okay, what will I do tomorrow? So you're never in the present moment. You're always shuttling between the past and the future, and that leads to a lot of anxiety, that leads to a lot of panic, right? The next thing that happens is because of this burnout, because of this exhaustion, you are not productive at work. You are irritated at work, you lose your temper, you actually make a lot of mistakes at work. A very simple presentation also can run out into something which is like a big goof up, or maybe you say certain things to a student which you generally wouldn't have spoken about, or maybe the way you have handled a particular question of a child. So what I'm trying to say is, again and again, because like I always talk about emotion, I always talking about taking care of our own self. So if you are not happy inside, it will reflect at your workspace, it will reflect at your relationships, it will reflect everywhere. And again, so if you're not feeling well, so automatically, if you are not productive, if you're not healthy, you're not physically doing well, you will miss days at work, you will have absence, and that can again lead to issues at your organization, and that can impact your so-called track record at your workspace. So this is some of the things. Again, apart from the health perspective, I would say is, when you don't have time for anything, like, you're always working, you either are on the classes, or beyond the classes you're doing other work. So you don't have time for your family, you don't have time for yourself, and even the same behavior is reflected at your personal space. You are being irritated, you're answering back, you're exhausted already, so you're very, very frustrated in every conversation at home, and the people around you must be wondering that what's wrong with you, why are you behaving this way? But you are not settled inside, you're not at peace within. So obviously, if you're not peace within, it will have a lot of havoc and chaos outside. So obviously, then what happens is, overall you lose your confidence, and then you get into this self pity mode, you get into a self doubt, and you start judging yourself. Am I good? बाकी टीचर्स इतने अच्छे हैं, maybe I am not that good, should I continue this job, should I look for another job? Those kind of self doubt things comes into the picture. And definitely that leads to a lot of poor relationships, not only at your workspace, also at your personal space. Because if you're not in your true elements, if you're not happy, if you're not at peace, it will lead to a lot of poor relationships at every place of your life. And it will also make you very disconnected with people. You will not feel like, participating in the initiatives at your workplace. Maybe the school is trying to take some initiative for the betterment of the teachers or the betterment of the students, or some festival celebration, or whatever can be done at a virtual way, because right now most of us are at virtual schooling. So I'm talking from a virtual schooling perspective. So what happens is these small joys, small initiatives which may be good for you, you may not take it in a nice way because you're so exhausted. You're just not in a capacity to even look at any of these so-called happy things, and you'll be like, oh god, it's just a waste of time. In that time maybe I can do this project, maybe in that time I can just finish some other work. Are you understanding? So these are the kind of issues which you may face. And I wanted to share these points, Asnaha, because it's very important to understand, because whoever is watching this live later on also, that am I somebody who is struggling with maintaining a work life balance? Because if you are one of them who the kind of pointers which I shared right now, if you are one of them who is facing even one, two, or three or more of these things, then definitely you need to look inside and watch the rest of the life,
Madhurima,
and
I would
take.
suggest it can create a perfect checklist for anyone who is going through all such issues. So
Yes,
they can just
yes,
do a check,
yes.
so to
That's the
speak.
reason
They
why I
can save.
shared it, because people should
Yeah,
understand that, is this for me? Is this life
yeah.
for me? Am I one of them? Then the connection builds better. Then they will find more meaning in the kind of things we are going to discuss, so on and so forth. Yeah. So, Asna, coming back to your original question about certain pointers. So, honestly, there are so many things we can do. So, if I have to, I'm going to talk about, the generic ones, and then maybe later on I can give you tips on what you can do or what a teacher can do. So, first and foremost, like I said earlier, also, you need to be very, very organized, and you need to have a proper schedule where you know how to do your time management. Okay, so you have your own responsibilities, you have your own commitments at your workspace, at your home. So you need to understand what are the things that is expected out of me. Okay, beyond stretching yourself and not undermining yourself, you need to understand, okay, I have 5 things that I need to do at work, I have 5 things I need to do at home. Now you have to sit and understand, how do I prioritize that? Okay, all of them cannot be top priority. So you need to understand what are those things. So make a to-do list, okay, every single day or every week probably. So I would always say that make a to-do list every day before you end your day at work, so you know what is it that you need to prepare for the next day. And even for your home, so you can make proper schedules at home about your meal, about your activities that your children can do at home, how you will delegate the household chores to your helps or anybody else. So you need to do all of that, right? The second thing is you have to prioritize. So if you have prioritizing into which is urgent, so put them on the top priority. The second would be important. So there's a difference between urgent and important. Urgent are those things which are like top priority, which are like you have to do it and there's no escape around it, right? Those are the urgent things which need your most important and most attention. Second thing would be important. So they are not urgent, they are not on fire, but yes, it's important and you need to do them. The second and the third thing is that they are neither urgent nor important, but you can do it later. Okay, so you got what I said. First would be urgent, then would be important, and then it would be neither urgent nor important. So things which are maybe on a day to day basis, which you will have to do, but if you miss even doing that for a day, it's okay. It will not affect you on a day to day basis. So that is something you need to be very, very cognizant of, that am I understanding my priorities? So if you do that, first you have to work on your to do list, what you need to do at work, what you need to do at home, then you can make your priorities. Because otherwise, if you don't have the list in place, you will not be able to do your priorities. And if you don't do your priorities, your time management will go for a toss and you'll be again
Very well
struggling.
said. Very well said,
Yeah.
Madhurima. So it's like almost working smarter, not harder. So
Yes,
like removing
absolutely.
those,
See, today is the time.
non-essential.
Yes, so today is a time, Asnaha, where we all need to be smart. We all need to work smart. We also need to work hard. But I would say it is 60% work smart, 40% work hard, because working hard, everyone is doing, but working smart, not everyone. So let us be smart and use the brain God has given us and use it judiciously. The second thing which I wanted to say is that, certain things in terms of whatever that you are doing, irrespective of how much of work you have, how many responsibilities you have, it's important to take a break. Okay, so like how we have breaks in our class, again, I'm talking from a teacher perspective, how we have breaks between the lectures. The students are taking a break, be it a 5-minute break, a 10-minute break. You need to take a break. What I understand, because I spoke to few teachers, who are doing online classes, so I asked them, and they were like, no, but when the class gets over, we have to shift to the next class, so we are preparing for that and this and that, so we actually don't get a break because this class got over that. So we're just shifting from one class to another. They don't take a break. So I would encourage every person who's watching this live and every teacher, please, please, please take a break. If you are shifting from one classroom to another virtually, if you're shifting from one subject to another virtually, while your students are taking a break, even if it is for 5 minutes, take a break. Just get up from that chair, move out of that room, just walk around your home and come back. If nothing, just go to the window you have nearest to your workstation and just look out. Just take some fresh air, which is very, very important. Take your eyes off the screen for 5 minutes. I'm sure you can manage that. And I'm sure you can manage that when you have your to-do list in place, when you have your priorities in place. Because if you even are shifting to the next class, get everything ready before you start your work. So if you're shifting from class 3A to 3B to 3C in three different lectures between the breaks, get things ready before you start your day. If your school starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, get your lecture as per, and then stack them out. What you need to do with the first lecture, then you have your second lecture, then you have your third lecture. So stack them out and file them out so that ek khatam ho gaya, the second one comes into picture. So you don't have to struggle to see, oh, what preparation I need to do. So these are the kind of time management things we need to do so that, we get this opportunity to take a break. If you don't take a break, trust me, for talking for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours when the school is going on, giving assignments, talking, answering questions, it's really going to give you a big exhaustion. So I hope you can take this break and find some time. It's not that difficult, trust me, it's not that difficult, because if you are the driving force of that classroom, you need to be happy, you need to be feeling good. So please take that break. And yeah, there are many, many things which you can do, which I will share later on when I'm talking about certain tips which I would like to give. But these are the general ones. The third thing which I would like to say is, please, please, please seek help. Okay, there is no shame, there is no guilt, and it does not make you a bad teacher or an inefficient teacher by seeking help. Okay, so either you reach out to your organization, to a senior teacher, to your principal, to a counselor, to a coordinator, whatever is your setup in your respective organization. Seek help if you think you are struggling. If you think that I really can't do this, if I'm whatever that you're facing, if it's related to your work, definitely. If you think it's something personal, you can definitely seek out to somebody like me, or anybody that you trust. If nothing, just talk to a friend. Sometimes when we speak to somebody who has a different perspective, can give us a very, very fresh idea. Maybe we are just circling around one small circle of our mind, but when we speak to somebody who's not in our situation, they can give a fresh perspective. So if you're struggling, if you're not feeling great, if you're feeling burned out, if you're feeling exhausted and overwhelmed, please reach out and look for help and talk to people, because it's very important that teachers are in a better mental and emotional state to connect to the students and help them in their own work. um yeah, so that is another thing. And another very important thing which I would really, really like to say is, please take out time for yourself. Any time of the day, if you are in a morning school or an afternoon school or whatever time is your lecture, take out time, an hour, half an hour, whatever time that permits you, to do something that you love, irrespective of, your home, or you can go out. I'm sure we all have a passion. I'm sure we all have a hobby. We all loves to do something. You maybe just sit and watch some funny reels on Instagram, or just read a book, or sit and do some coloring on a simple kiddie drawing book, or follow something, or maybe just bake a cake. I don't know, everybody has their own passion. Okay, or maybe you can just sit and watch some movie on Netflix. It doesn't matter. Do something that will absolutely be like a no brainer, which is just to relax you, just to give you some comfort. So you need to invest in that me time. I'm sure all of you know about this word called me time. So you definitely need to indulge in me time, because it's very, very important for your mental and emotional health. And I think these are very, very basic stuff which I could think of, Asnaha. And yeah, so going forward, I may share more when I come to it.
Amazing points shared by you. So I would just summarize it. Madhurima just said, I would say the five golden rules that we all can pick up. Number one is like work smarter, not harder. And in my own language, what I say is take a pause. When I ask teachers to take a break, they share n number of excuses that we cannot take. We lose our time if we take break. We have deadlines to meet. All those things, but it is practically possible to take a pause in between whatever you are doing, and it actually makes you more productive, right? It actually makes you more productive. There are research, go ahead and read about it, that if you are taking a pause, you are not losing your time, you're actually enhancing your capabilities. Third thing, seek help. We as human beings, we as teachers, we think we are perfect. And if we seek help, it will, actually showcase our incapability. Gone are the days. We're living in the world which requires social skills. We need to be collaborating with each other. And when we collaborate with each other, we are actually making ourselves better and stronger. So seek help. Find a friend in the community. Don't hesitate if you don't know something. Probably the other person know it better. You learn from it and you help him or her out in other possible ways, right? We all are unique. We have our own capabilities. So seek help. It's very important. Me time is very, very important. Pamper yourself, love yourself. It is very important. Whatever it is, if reading a book, painting, whatever that helps you feel better. I said this line earlier as well, that we cannot pour out from an empty cup. If we are not happy inside, then we will not be happy outside. We cannot make our classroom happy. And no one wants to learn from a teacher who is unhappy, right? So, this is again very important to stay happy and have some me time. And the last thing that you shared is like, yeah, I think I have covered almost everything what Madhurima has shared. Thank you so much. Those are very lovely tips, and you again brought it back to the educators. Is there anything that you would like to suggest to us as educators, which are must to do, some very specific tips that you want to skim and scan out of your talk and give us, or some additional tips, some power mantra sort of thing that we must be doing? I'm reading the chat and a lot of discussion is going on. For example, Ranjana just said that she loved the idea of taking a break even by a walk or peeping out of window for 5 minutes. So actually she's appreciating the idea. Thank you, Ranjana. She also
Thanks.
shared that while doing classes online, we forget at times these, like we just stick to our work and station and during that 5 minutes break. So it's difficult. But here, as an educator and as a pedagogical leader, I'll give you a tip. Not only you, your students also need that break. And what do? We run a rate race and we keep on, taking the classes, and students also, they don't get enough break. So have some icebreakers, have some warm up activities, do it along. Give your students also that break. So this is one of the idea that always I give to my teachers, that timetable does not allow, but timetable is not asking you to become a machine. You can yourself take a break, do an icebreaker session, do a warm up something, listen to a song together, or move your body together with your students. It's practically possible. We as IB educators, we're supposed to do, those ice breaking sessions, those warm up active, and it is practically possible even in the traditional classroom. The teaching and learning community is changing a lot, so we are picking up smart ways of doing things. So if your timetable does not allow, make your timetable as such that you are enjoying some me time with your students. It's possible. Make it we time instead of me time.
Yeah, and I would like to add there, Asna very rightly said that, see, anytime we get into a new yeah, sorry, I think what I would like to add to that, Asnaha, is that anytime we start something new, even if you change the brand of your coffee or any food or any habit or anything, you will have to give it some time, right? So initially it might seem very difficult. Oh, how do I squeeze in time? I have to meet deadlines, I have to do this, I have to do that. But trust me, you make it a conscious effort of starting one day at a time. That, okay, today I've heard this talk, tomorrow I'm going to do it. So to do that tomorrow, I need to organize one, two, three, four things. So you have to plan in advance. You cannot get up at 7 o'clock and think, okay, today I'm going to take a break, but you're already bombarded with things which are as a backlog. So you need to take one day at a time. Even if you could take 2 minutes break, even if you could stretch your hands and legs in between a class, that's good enough. So when it comes to taking a break, because I think a lot of your teachers have been asking these questions, and it would be really nice, Asnaha, after I finish giving the tips and my talk, please share with me the questions, because I might not be able to see them. So please share with me the questions and the perspectives. I would be really happy to answer them if I can, and maybe talk a little bit on that. All right. So in terms of getting into a habit of taking a break, I would rather say do simple things. First and foremost, just get up from that chair, look outside the window, which is a very simple thing. You don't need to do anything extra. Second thing you can do is just stretch. Just stretch your hands and legs and just stand and touch your feet, which is very simple. So what happens is your body gets into an agility way, and you're not just sitting at one place, because continuously sitting also leads to a lot of rigidity, and it leads to a lot of stress, and it leads to a lot of backache and body ache and every kind of thing, right? In between, what you can do is, while you are taking a break, like I said, just go out. If you have a child at home, just spend 2 minutes with the child. If you can go to the kitchen and see what's cooking, or just go and give a hug to somebody you love, or just go and say hi, or just nothing, then just go and lie down on the bed for 10 seconds and come back. Trust me, do these chotu things, it will definitely help you. And another very important thing is, maybe you can keep some green tea on your workstation, or make your own happy drinks. It can be anything. You can even just simply take a water jar and add some mint into it, mint leaves, and keep sipping into it. That's also nice. You can do your own thing. So you have to find your own source of happiness while you're at work. You have to find those small joys where you can do that. And if nothing, keep some chocolate around your workstation. So just take a bite and you'll feel happy. So yeah, there are many things you can do. And
uh,
another very important thing I wanted to say is, we are all working at a workstation. So you have a table or chair or wherever you're sitting, decorate that place. Put up nice pictures, or put some happy photos that you love, or some quotes that you like. Maybe put a small plant there, maybe put some nice candle, whatever, whatever you like, whatever you even if you like, for example, if you're a fan of some actor, or some spiritual person, or some motivational speaker, or a sports person, just put a nice small picture of that person and you'll feel happy. Or put a picture of your own child, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Do what you love, because that's the workplace, right? And that is the place where you are sharing your knowledge, you're sharing your passion, and you are helping so many children. So you need to be very happy. So create these small joys, and trust me, it's not that difficult. It's all here. एक बार आप करके देखो, just do one day at a time. Okay, it's very easy, but yeah, initially it might sound and look like कैसे करूँ मैं. I'm sure you can do it. It's not a big deal. It's just that we need to know how to do it, and then just tweak our timings here and there. थोड़ा सा time management आप करोगे, everything will fall into place. You were saying something, Asna. I'm sorry.
yeah, there is a beautiful, quote sort of thing from Patrick. So we have educators from India, from Pakistan and from South Africa today. So there are few colleagues who are joining us from, different parts of the world. So Patrick is from South Africa. He was one of our presenter earlier. So he shared that breaks are critical to a teacher's success. Teaching is a marathon, not a sprint. In order to continue being at your best each day and make it an entire career, it's important you replenish regularly. Very well said. I loved it. And very well said, Madhurima, that it's very, very important. And I just picked it up, and you explained it so very well that like what are the different ways they can use to take that break. People are appreciating great ideas, great going. And yeah, there is a very funny question which is actually a reality in most of the cases. Sonal wrote that a lot of times we as teachers cannot manage our own children because they take us for granted and we are exhausted. Any solution to this?
Okay. So, thanks, Sonal, for your question. I will answer this, but I will answer your question and then I will finish my points, and then we can move on to the
Yeah,
question
go ahead
answers.
first. Yeah,
Yeah,
first
no
finish your
problem.
pointers. Yeah,
So,
then we can go.
Sonal, it's like I have already shared. Please reach out and seek help. Okay, so it's not always about your professional things. If you are, depending upon what's the structure of your family. Are you in a joint family or a nuclear family? So please seek help. If you do not have somebody from your family who can help you out, then you have to hire somebody. You can have somebody to take care of your child while you're at work, because please understand, being a parent is a difficult job, and it's a very, very time consuming job, and same way being a teacher, right? And both requires you end to end. So it's very, very important to understand that how you can delegate work, how you can take some time out, and how you can have somebody to help you out in your household chores and even handling your baby, irrespective of how old your child is. All children need our time. How our students need our time, our children need our time, be it they are 5-year old or they are 15, they all need our time. Hence, it's very important to understand and make that first thing I told you, that to do list, prioritize time management, and then you have your me time, because you have to understand, this is my working hour, this is my post working hour follow up or whatever that I need to do, and this is my me time, this is my family time. So you need to prioritize and make those lists. So having that, I will want to say one thing is, most of the times, professionals, be it teachers or anybody else, get into this this guilt mode or this mindset of being like being stuck or being a victim, that, oh no, now this is where I am, what do I do, I have no choice, I have no option now, I'm just stuck here, I don't know how I'm going to manage my time. So this is exactly where you need to look inside and see, why am I thinking this way? Is this a choice which I have made out of passion, or have I been forced into it? And I think we've already spoken on it. So you need to check your own mindset, you need to check that, where are you operating from? And if you keep on thinking that life is unfair, I don't have a choice, I'm not making my choice, then trust me, you will just attract it more and more. Because I'm sure most of you know about the law of attraction. Our thoughts become our things. So whatever energy that you're giving to your thoughts and you're sharing it to the universe will give it back to you. So universe is like a boomerang. You spread out happiness, happiness will come back to you. You spread out doubt, more and more doubt will come to you. So be very, very aware about what is the kind of thought and mindset you're operating from. If you're continuously going to look out for problems, if you're continuously going to look out for issues, and more issues will come to you. If you start thinking about solutions, then you will definitely find solutions. So all of this is not exactly the answer to your question, Sonal, but what I was trying to say is, seek help, delegate, and take help when you have to do time management, even for your child. So I'm sure when you follow these tips which we have already shared, you're going to find your way out. And something which is there for you, Sonal, and also for everyone else, is when you understand your priorities, it will be easier for you to leave certain small things, okay, and ignore certain small things. So we have this saying called choose your battles. So when we say choose your battles, as in, you have to understand, am I going to waste my energy or spend my energy on this thing right now, or I can put it behind right now, something else is important. So you have to be very, very sure about how you're going to manage your time, what needs more attention, and how you're going to handle things. Okay, so what happens is, you have to tell your family, you have to tell your children, you have to tell everyone at your personal space your working hours, and you have to fix your working hours. So irrespective of what time your school starts and your school ends, if you have certain things which you have to do beyond your school hours, certain homework and classworks and other things, you need to fix a time. You need to fix a time that, okay, the next, this is these 2 hours after my school, this will be my time to check the papers or give assignments or do other work that I have to do. Stick to that. Okay, how we used to sit for 2 hours or 1 hour or an exam, think of it like that, that this is the only 2 hours I have to finish this. Close the doors and windows, don't talk to anybody, and finish it off. Because if you don't focus on that time and don't finish it off in that time, your other things will take a backseat. Then you will not get time to take a nap, you will not get time to have your meals properly, you will not get time to do what you love, you will not get a break. Then your family will be expecting time out of you, your child will expect time out of you, and then it again gets into that vicious circle, because you have to, one by one, you have to manage things, and you have to draw the line. It's very, very important to draw the line, because if you do not draw the line, you will always keep struggling. Because अच्छा थोड़ा काम रह गया, अच्छा थोड़ा घर का भी कर लेता हूँ, अच्छा बच्चे का भी वो देख ले, then you will be struggling. Then you're just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then you'll be like, oh my god, I just don't have time, I am just stuck here, and my life is going nowhere, I hate the lockdown and this and that. I'm understanding it just goes into a circle, and then you are not happy, and you're like, I hate my life, I hate my job. So what I'm trying to say is, look inside first, start making your list, start delegating, seek help, and prioritize your life so that everything can fall into place. So something I would like to add to this is, which is very, very specific to teachers, is uh, it's very important to talk, it's very important to express, but be aware, are you complaining or are you expressing? So most of you may think, "Arey, complain hi to karenge if you are not feeling good." No. If you are looking at a mode of complaining, it can lead to more and more negativity instead of finding a solution. You can definitely raise an alarm, you can definitely seek help, you can even definitely look for a solution. So be very, very aware that, what am I operating from? Am I looking for just complaining, or am I looking for a solution? Because if you're looking for complaining, trust me, then that will lead to a lot of gossip. That can lead to a lot of unnecessary conversations. Then those typical classroom and staff room gossips, and it will just lead to a lot of unnecessary, unproductive, negative conversations, and that will again lead you to more self pity, more victim mindset, and it will just drain out your energy. So be very, very aware कि आप कैसे बात कर रहे हो, किन से बात कर रहे हो, and what kind of words are you talking, what kind of things are you saying, are you looking for a solution, or are you just complaining, right? So before I end, I would just like to, share few pointers which you can note it down, uh, like a recap. So number one is, work smart more than you work hard, and definitely draw your boundaries, draw a line between your working hours and your home hours. And thirdly is, talk, seek help, and express personally and professionally so that you can take a break. Then fourth definitely is, take a break. Keep taking breaks, small, big, large, and do what you love. Spend some time, me time, to do what you love so that you feel happy. And if you are happy, a happy human is a happy teacher, and a happy teacher means a happy child, and a happy classroom, and a happy school. So, and a happy future generation. So it's all on you. It's a lot of responsibility, and I'm not trying to psych all the teachers here, but I'm giving you so much of love and so much of respect that everything is on you. So please take care of yourselves, take breaks, and make your priorities. And a very important thing which I've not mentioned earlier is, also make a time when you do nothing. ओके, हर समय कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You do not have to be productive 24/7. Be unproductive sometimes. Just don't do anything. कुछ not करो आप. Just, do nothing, So take some time when you don't do anything. Give your brain some rest. Give your body some rest. Give your vocal cords some rest because you're talking so much. So just keep quiet and be a good listener maybe, and just watch people. आपका बच्चा कुछ कर रहा है, घर पे कुछ हो रहा है, टीवी चल रहा है. So just be mindless and just be there and do nothing. Trust me, that helps to take a break. That helps to unwind. That helps to de-stress as well. And another thing is very important is exercising. Any kind of exercise, you stretch, you go to the gym, you dance, you do yoga, you run, you walk, whatever connects with you. Have some kind of a physical exercise because you're sitting on this chair for such a long time, everything is on the laptop. So please, 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 spend some time in doing some physical exercise, spend some time in eating well, maintain a proper diet, prepare your meal schedules in advance so that you know what vegetables you need to eat, what's your protein intake, what's your fruits, what how much of water you need to drink. And a very important thing, I'm sure, which everybody talks about, is your sleep time. What is your sleep time? How many hours are you sleeping? What time are you sleeping? What time are you eating your dinner, your lunch? How much water are you drinking? So I know this is not exactly related to work life balance, but it is very, very important because if you are not sleeping well, your entire day next day will be in a very bad state because you are not 100%. If you're not 100%, then again that vicious circle will happen. So it's very important to sleep well and take care of yourself. And like I always say, celebrate the small joys. Take one day at a time. If tomorrow you could take 2 minutes break, celebrate that, not by having a box of ice cream maybe, but celebrate that by patting your back and say, yeah, I did it. Wow, I never even thought I could take a break. Yeah, great. And then message Asnaha and say, Asnaha, you're awesome, thank you. And say thank you to me also, in your own mind, even if you are not telling me in person. Because if you can take a break and you can celebrate that time and you can celebrate that joy of yours, yes, you're sorted. And then it's just the beginning and you can keep going back and forth around that. And one last tip that I want to give, which I always share with everyone, is start journaling. If you do not have people to talk to, if you do not have places to express, start writing it down. Start writing down every single night before you go to sleep. Write down how your day was, write down what you liked, write down what you didn't like. You can also start a gratitude journal. I'm sure we all know about gratitude. I'm sure we all know about prayers and how beautiful prayers are, irrespective of which part of the world you are or what faith you have. Just pray to God that, thank you, God, I'm alive. Thank you, God, I'm healthy. Thank you, God, I can see and I can talk and I have a classroom to take care of. Thank you, God, I have students who trust me, parents who trust me, a school who trusts me. I have this education by which I'm imparting so much of knowledge, and I am so good and I'm so awesome. So it's very, very important to write every single night. Do your gratitude journal. Thank God for every small thing. If you have a fan at home, thank God for that. If you have a bed to sleep on, thank God for that. So what I'm trying to say is, let's shift our mindset and get into the space of being happy, being joyful, and taking care of our mind, body, and heart, so that we become better humans, we become better teachers. And yeah, like I said, the responsibility is on you, because the entire generation is looking up to you, because you're the teacher, you're the inspiration. And yeah, so you're the one who's taking all the nations ahead. So I think that is what I had to say. Asnaha, over to you now.
Wow, wow. Amazing ideas. And I am just reading the comments. Yasin is saying, outstanding discussion. Ranjana is finding it very insightful. Patrick said that brilliant ideas for all professionals. And Ranjana is also agreeing with you that we need to draw a line. It's very important. Sonal is thanking you for your guidance. Here, I just want to add, Sonal, being an educator and being a mother, what is the biggest mistake that we do? We keep on correcting, right? So I would say, less correction, more connection works. It works. So Ranjana is again sharing lovely ideas.
Thank
Rakhi
you.
shared that sometimes our professional requirements hinder our personal life. So this is where we need to draw the line, as Madhurima said. Ranjana again said that actually sometimes we use that 5-10 minutes break for some of the official work. That is where we do mistake. That break is actually a break. Define your break. If you're taking a break, it should actually be a break. You should not be using your break in something else. Student get break, yes, at times student get break, but yeah, again I read it already. While doing classes online, we forget at times, we just stick to our workstation. Yes, right. So yeah, she's again thinking of taking a 5 minutes break. Someone, I don't know the name of this person, he wrote that participating in online workshop just for the hack of a mad red race among school. How many like my school Facebook page? Teachers work for about 12 to 14. Yes, this has become a trend. Like when people are, doing webinars and expecting teachers to attend those after school. So this has to come in as a school policy, that where do they find time from after doing a day long session, or having with the students for the entire day? Will they be able to grasp something from the webinar? Certainly not. So scheduling of the webinars on such a day where teachers have a breather and they can actually learn something from those webinars. Very valid point, I agree with you. Love the idea of taking a break. Amazing. So yeah, if you have any more questions, you can share it now, you can share it later. Madhurima is very much available and visible on LinkedIn. And I love the idea of gratitude journal. I used to have that. Currently, I'm not having it, but I'm doing a very simple thing on LinkedIn, or writing something, not maintaining a journal. So, celebrating the small wins. And it actually, gives a lot of confidence that yes, those small moves helping us to reach towards a bigger goal. So don't wait for a big victory. Celebrate your small wins. Thank you. Thank you so much, Madhurima, for all such lovely ideas. And yes, I'm sure that those ideas will make us more productive and will help us to find ways to seek a balance in our work life. I would love to give you a token of appreciation from all of us. So just allow me to share the screen. I'm just doing it right away.
Sure. Thank you,
And for
Asana. It's always a pleasure talking to you and the teachers. It gives me a lot of joy because, as a mother of a child who attends online school, I always talk to his school teachers and tell them and appreciate them and respect them for the efforts that they are taking. And so, yeah, it's not easy. So all of you are doing a great job. So just do these tweaking here and there, and I'm sure you will have a great time and you will love what you're doing. And yeah, there's always an opportunity. So always remember, look for a solution and don't look for complaining only. So I'm sure that will help you. Thanks, Asna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So this is the little thing that we have for your great, great efforts that you have put in to help us to understand what are the ways we can use. These are the simple things, but if we hear from someone else who is an expert in making people more emotionally strong, so that gives a lot of weightage to the entire thing. So amazing, amazing, Madhurima. Those ideas were, really worth listening and worth implementing. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the great things that you're doing. And as Madhurima said, that yes, we as teachers, we should keep on patting our back. If no one else is doing, we can do, right? So pat your back, everyone. We are doing really, really great. And stop being that perfectionist. There's no one who's perfect on earth. So keep on implementing. If you have become perfect, then you will become complacent and you will stop learning. And where is the joy in life when you have stopped learning? So if you really want to grow, shine, be a learner, and stop striving to become a perfectionist. It's practically impossible, believe me. Okay, and there's
True,
something
true.
for the audience as well. I'm sharing a link, so please fill this form, and you will get receive immediately a certificate. The certificate will be auto generated, so make sure that you are filling your name with the correct spelling. It will not be corrected. So just write your correct name in whatever way you want. So you will get the certificate the moment you fill this form. Thank you so much for everyone who was with us. It was
Thank you
for
so
you.
much,
And
everyone. It really means a lot when you have questions coming in, perspectives coming in. So, thank you, everyone who participated, and thank you, Asnaha. And you can share my contact details in the links. And if anybody wants to have any kind of conversation with me, do feel free to reach out to me on my social media links or anywhere. So, thank you, Asnaha. Thank you so much.
yeah, there is again a compliment for you from Chaitanya. Good. Hello, ma'am. Good evening. I'm mother teacher of class UKG. Your ideas were very good, and she's thanking you. Yes, I will be sharing the details of Madhurima contact details soon in the groups that we have, so you can get in touch with Madhurima if if you're feeling burnt out. You can reach her, and she's really good at that, so she can help you to revive all your senses well. Thank you so much, everyone. We will be meeting next week on Saturday or Sunday. I'll be keeping you all posted. Thank you so much, and thank you, Madhrima. Have a good day, everyone.